Silverstone says 88 saturated. To touch on that point of other coins existing, it's actually good for Bitcoin. The more options trading pairs for Bitcoin gives them more liquidity in the market overall. Absolutely. Right. And that's the cool thing. And that's what what would you call it? The mentality that I have and the world that I hope we can build here is that people should be able to use whatever they want. People should be able to accept whatever they want. Bitcoin is going to be the best place to store wealth. But like if you started a shop and you sold England. Sorry, Passy. I thought you were from Australia for some reason. England. Plymouth. Where the hell is Plymouth though? If we go back to the great Gazoo beer, he fires up a business, craft beer. Like if he wants to create his own token, if he wants to only accept Gazoos, he should be able to. Everybody should be free to accept whatever they want. People should be free to exchange it in whatever they want. That doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean it's wrong, but it means that people have the freedom to choose what they exchange in. But going back to this comment here, as long as Bitcoin exists, that's the key. And that's when we say that Bitcoin is going to reprice everything. The reason that is because Bitcoin has a fixed and known supply. Oh, I got the burps here now from the beer. But that's the key thing there is that nobody can print Bitcoin. We know what the supply is. Nobody can create any out of thin air. And so that's going to kind of be the measuring stick for every other asset. So yes, if the Gazoo token wants to, if that's what they want to create, unless there's value there, it's just going to trend towards zero against Bitcoin. You can create as many Gazoo tokens as you want, but the more you create, the more you print, the less value it is, and the more it falls to Bitcoin, the true asset, the one that's going to reprice everything, including Gazoo tokens, including real estate, including gold, right? Because anything that you can create more of is going to lose value against Bitcoin over time. And some of these topics I talk about a lot on this show, but I think it's important to talk about it through different angles in a different way, because it's going to be one time. It's not going to be you hear something once and you understand it. But the key there is that as long as you have one asset, in this case, it's Bitcoin, that you can measure everything else against, that's fixed, that you cannot create, you cannot print out of thin air. That's all that matters. There could be 5 trillion other tokens out there. It doesn't matter. It has no impact on Bitcoin. The only thing that's going to happen is they're going to fall, unless they provide real value to people, they're just going to fall in comparison to Bitcoin over time. And that's where the value of Bitcoin is. That's why it's the best store of wealth. Nothing stops this train, like Sailor said. Mr. Dig Deeper. Agreed. And this is kind of how I think about the train, because it's kind of big enough now, but this is the train analogy that I like, because if you understand the fact that nobody can stop Bitcoin, and every 10 minutes, like it doesn't matter what's happening. Bitcoin doesn't care who the president is. Bitcoin doesn't care that I'm doing this live stream right now, but every 10 minutes, Bitcoin does what it does, which is creates new blocks. So think of like the train as like the blockchain, and it just keeps chugging along. Sometimes it slows down a bit, sometimes it speeds up, but it's over time it kind of averages out. And that train, as more and more people, like it's going a little bit slower, as more people hop on, there's more weight behind it. So it starts picking up steam, right? And as more people join the network, as more people start running nodes, as more businesses start accepting Bitcoin for payment, there's more people coming onto the train. And think about a train with a whole bunch of weight coming onto it. It just becomes harder and harder to stop. It's not going to go faster on unless you start going downhill, but on a flat surface here, it's not going to go any faster. It's just going to be harder and harder to stop. So the speed of it is going to continue. As more and more people come onto it, it's just going to become harder and harder to stop. That's why I like the train analogy, is because it's a perfect representation of what Bitcoin is and the Bitcoin network itself.